control. We own the night, whining like a demon. It's thunder on wheels, the supercharged light. It's power steel, tires smoke rising, burning through the air. Malibu Tahoe, nothing can compare. Jumping over dunes, feeling so alive in this monster machine. We thrive and strive. Driven by the wheel, we conquer every trail. With my supercharged Tahoe, we will never fail.
Is it possible to daily drive a Whipple Supercharged Tahoe? Let's find out. I'm going to wait so that I don't get crunched by this new version of my truck. Little second gear chirp right there. Thanks to Doug Sproxton, the 4L80E guy, who, again, later will go into my original transmission builder that sent me 2 boat anchors. His name is Jake. Jake Shoemaker out of Texas. Supposed to be the best. I researched who was the best and went through him, and boy, do I regret it. After a year of struggling with his transmission, sending it back just to have him mess it up again, putting wrong parts in it, putting the discs in backwards, and my triple disc torque converter. Man, and to top that off, he is horrible to work with. In fact, I'm a little scared that if I put this video out, he'll fly over here and stalk me and my house, according to other reviews I see on Google and pretty much everywhere that talks about 4L80E transmissions. But let's keep this nice. We won't talk about Jake. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm about 2 years into this build. You know, I did front diesel axles basically, Bilstiens shocks. I tried to keep this stock look. It's got a leveling kit on it. As again, I said, it's got the Eaton locker, an LQ9 6-liter. I pulled out of a junkyard with 60,000 miles on it. It was super fresh. I put the Whipple 2.3 on it. Actually, I didn't put it on. A good buddy now of mine, Jimmy Anderson, out of Utopia Motorworks in Roseburg, did all the build work. And he did a phenomenal job, and he did an incredible tune. And you know, I think we're probably making at least 500 to the wheels. His dyno is called the disappointing dyno because it's about 30% lower than what you're actually making, but he's not a tuner that worries about numbers. He's a tuner that worries about what's the best tune for your system. He could care less about numbers, but his cars win races, and he's got $200,000 cars in there all the time, so I'll stick with not worrying about numbers. It gets up and goes. It's really nice now. I'm running single 3-inch exhaust with the Flowmaster so it doesn't drone. Let's see if I can get some of this wind noise down. And it moves right along. Down the freeway, you don't even notice it. I'm running about 6.5 pounds of boost. It came with, the Whipple setup came with, you know, the injectors and everything you need. Because this is a hybrid Tahoe, a 2003, the fuel pump in it is a little bit more aggressive than others. So we didn't need to change that. Fuel line built. Struggled a lot with little things. Belt slip. Had a real problem with my belt flying off for the longest time. And come to find out, the tensioner was only retracting about halfway or less than it's supposed to. It got debris in it and it was snapping up and stopping at halfway. And whenever I put a belt on, I didn't notice it because it's stopping at about halfway. And one time I'm out there changing the belt and I got my big old breaker bar wrench sitting on it. The belt's off, so the tensioner's free. And all of a sudden my wrench just flies across the room and the tensioner goes from here to here. Well, that meant that my belt doesn't fly off anymore. But I had so many belts flying off and couldn't figure it out and kept wondering if my alignment was off or this or that. And so once we got that squared away, we were pretty good. It took time. Again, I went through a lot of hassle with the transmission. That was just a nightmare. The transmission builder himself. Thank God I finally found Doug, the 4L80E guy. He just worked wonders and super cool. Listens to good music, easy to be around, and he lives in my state. Imagine that. So we're doing good now. He really went through it, just changed the torque converter, fixed several things that Jake had messed up. I got a car passing me, a minivan. Oh man, that's good for this video. Well, I know all these people out here and they know my truck, so I want to be a little nicer to my neighborhood. Until I get somewhere else. But anyways, Doug fixed all Jake's mistakes, as I like to call them. And one of the things we still didn't do is, I'm not a tranny guy at all, but Jake likes to leave his pressure valve wide open. So you really can't tune the tranny. And I'm sure if he ever sees this, he'll be like, rah, 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 rah. I'm going to come and stalk you and get you. And you're the worst customer ever. As a customer, you're fired. Because that's what Jake does. He fires you as a customer if you have any issues at all. And so basically the pressure valve's wide open. So my shifts are real blunt right now. Kind of feel them in your teeth. First and second are chirpy. I'm sure it's not terribly good on my rear end and U-joints and other things, but it seems to do fine. Works well under full load, wide open throttle. Other than that, I'm pulling the tranny again and taking it back to Doug, and he's going to go through it again, and he's just going to make sure that the tranny's more tunable, a little bit softer. I built this truck for the dunes. I took it out before I whippled it because my other dune rigs were broken down and I still wanted to go with my friends, and I just decided to air this down. I'd never taken it 4x-ing, and I took it out on the dunes, and I could not believe how well it did. And this was with the stock 5.3 in it, no mods. I was really tripped out by it. I mean, it just went everywhere. Just that good old LS, right? Well, I decided that I'm gonna build this. I mean, this thing's nice. It's got AC, good stereo. It's quiet going down the road. Cops don't know about it. I'm gonna build this thing up. So I put the 6-liter in it, put headers on it, deleted the cat, and right about then, it was amazing. I was pulling hills around here that were I had people clapping for me at the top, you know, and because it's such a just a grocery getter and unassuming, people couldn't believe how well it did. Let's get on it a little bit.
Rolling down the road with power in our veins. Whipple Supercharged, roaring through the lanes. Tires smoking, feel the torque unleash. This metal beast is my wildest feast. Real man driving, can you feel the thrill? Only the strong can handle this beastly wheel. Tires smoke rising, burning through the air. Movable down,
All right,
nothing
they
can
let us line up.
compare. Jumping
They're gonna
over
let us
dunes,
make a pass.
feeling so
They didn't make us
alive.
pay. They're not making us run. Super cool. We gotta wait for the real trucks to go, and then we'll put on a show.
Jumping through the sand, off-road with style. Every rain that close makes the heart go wild. Pavement's just a snack, hear the growl that bite. This ain't a pure muscle, we own the night. Whining like a demon, it's thunder on wheels. The supercharged light, it's power steel. Tires smoke rising, burning through the air. Movable down, nothing can compare. Jumping over dunes, feeling so alive. In this monster machine we thrive and strive. Driven by the wheel, we conquer every trail. With my supercharged Tahoe, we will never